talking about that years ago. I'm talking about a long, long time ago. I had friends that were Republicans and bearing arms and preparing for an anti-government movement. I mean, there were so many conspiracies floating around back in those days that the government was going to take over, and they had to load up on ammunition, guns, money, food, whatever it took, so they could stand up and fight the government, because they were thinking the government was going to come in and take their land or take their guns or take their rights or take their freedom of speech. Whatever conspiracy was floating around at the time, I heard them all. It was crazy back in those days. A lot of distrust. Now, fast forward to today, where are those people now? Looks like the federal government's taken over, and I don't hear hear anything about that other side. In fact, it almost seems like they're joining the government in efforts to clean up America, whatever they're trying to do, get rid of brown people, and maybe that's the thing. It's like, well, it's not about me getting rid of me; it's about getting rid of other people, and I want to join up for that. That is so bad. That is so wrong. And all these years, I thought for sure you would be the crew that would stand up to the government and not fight for the government. Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is just a personal thing that I've gone through over the years, a personal events that I've gone to and experienced, and talking to all kinds of different people. And now it's gotten, for me as an Americanteer, I think it's just gotten way out of hand, way out of hand. To have this kind of Gestapo movement going on, and just recently with the federalizing the police in D.C., which they stopped him from doing it, but they did initiate that first plan. That's crazy. That's crazy. Federal agencies going after American people, homeless people, and out of all the people, rich billionaires and politicians going after the homeless and cleaning up the slums, because I don't know why, it's just out of control. I don't know why anybody would go along with that way of thinking. That is just so unhealthy, and it just seems like it keeps feeding and feeding and feeding all that hate. It just keeps going into it, and the wearing the mask and hiding their identity, playing cards, whatever they're doing, that's like incognito, man. It's very secretive, and they won't answer any questions. They're not obliged to have to answer to anyone about anything, because they're with the federal government, man. They're federal government taking over. Shut up. To Americans. Do you understand? We're talking about Americans here. Going after Americans. That is brutal. Brutal. There is no love there. There is like crazy ego, narcissism, hate, and Americanteers, we're all about love. We're all about unifying and coming together. All of us, not just some of us, not just a certain crowd of us. I mean, everyone's invited if they want to have a common sense way of thinking and coming up with real solutions that work. That's what America needs right now, is Americanteers. Is people like me and you that can stand up and say something and say, this is crazy. And, maybe no one's listening. I don't think no one's ever listening to me. No one's listened to me for years. But I'm still talking about it. And it's just it just gets crazier every year. You know? And why don't we want to get along? What is the big deal? You know, everyone makes it sound like it's some huge deal. And it's not. It's just life. We're all human. We're all human. We're all just living a life. And life is short. You know, and now we want to go around disrupting life. You know, taking years away from people. It's just nutty. And Americanteers, I mean, we should be, Americanteers, we want to embrace the indifference, you know, even though we may be different. And that's okay. And that's really okay to come together and to unify and be strong and stand up to this, stand up to the government. I mean, it's always been, all these years, I don't care what administration I've been talking about, they've always been a problem. There's always been an issue. There's always been corruption. There's always been lack of government to the people. It's like government for themselves. You know, it's like a whole other club in the politician world. And you get in a political world, I mean. But in the political world, it is just a club. And they're just going to stick to the club. And not the American people, which is me and you. We're the ones that have to pay the price. Why should we? I mean, we're being used as pawns by the political system. We're being used for our money by corporations. And why can't we see this? Why can't we come together? You know, we can be Americanteers and solve this in our own way as the people, as in we the people.